Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The last time I was working on my bus, I worked on this little quarter panel, rear quarter repair. And that went pretty good. So I've decided to move backwards. So I'm going to carry on this way. And what I've done just now is I started grinding away at this lower section that was quite bumpy and lumpy. And I've discovered quite a bit of corrosion. So I've exposed this large hole over here, and this kind of ties in, I think, with the battery tray or whatever tray is in here. I'm not even sure if this, I think this is the battery side. Anyway, carried on over here, there was a bit of a lump. So this metal is completely deteriorated back here. It's pretty bad, and I don't have a patch panel for this, so I think I'm just going to go a piece at a time. I'll see if I can do that. Worth a try anyway. Now down here, I was grinding and grinding, and there must have been 1/4 of an inch of Bondo on here. So I got all this off, only to realize that there was a large ding in here, and I just reached inside with a hammer and I just pounded this out with a couple blows. So that's already way better. So there will be Bondo for sure, but not as much, hopefully. So whoever did this bus last time, whether this was done in the 80s or 90s, I don't know. They loved Bondo back then. There's quite a bit, but whoever did it, I'm not sure how high it goes up, maybe just right here. It's very, very, very smooth. Somebody was a very, very good sander. But anyway, got this metal exposed. What I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to chop away at the bad stuff. Chop away at the bad stuff. And I'm just going to try to piece some metal in. Not ideal, but, you know, at some point you got to sort of draw the line. Do I get a whole rear piece? These rear pieces, I think they come up to here. Sorry, they come up to here, and they're very, very expensive. And then you need this one, and then you get into the battery tray, and it just never ends. So I think I'm just going to go, just going to reveal and peel back to where there's good metal and put little patches in and take it from there. Now I do have, when I bought my bus, it came with one of these. So I thought, oh, I've got a beautiful piece. But unfortunately, the part that I need is below. So the part that's rotted on mine is obviously the part that was rotted on this one. Now, this does have the nice curvature. So I may take a slice out of this for in here. I think that might be a good idea, and it's good old thick German steel. And certainly at the top, there does not seem to be any Bondo at the top. So. All right, let's start marking and chopping. Here's where I'm at right now. I'm going to peel all this out. I'm going to rebuild what's missing on the flange of the battery tray. Then I've got this piece cut out of my German steel over there. And this is going to go in here like this. Sorry, I'm too close. That's going to go in here. That's the idea. Then I will incorporate a few plugs on the face of the battery tray the same way they had. And there's actually 2 or 3 spot welds from the factory that are still holding. So that's the idea for this repair. Then I'm going to cut out another piece of the German steel. That's going to go here. Same kind of an idea. And then, I don't know if I'll get any further than this today. I've only got a couple of hours. And then there's this monstrosity back here, which is, you know, there's really nothing left here, but, you know, maybe I could just do this with a lip that curls in. it's a patch quilt, but I patch quilted over there. I think it's okay. I mean, you gotta, these panels are very expensive, very, very expensive, and I really stepped it up when I bought the dog legs and the door skins, and I got the skin coming for the other sides. And I suppose I'm cutting a few corners here, but pardon the pun, corner. But I'm just gonna take my time and try to make it work. If it doesn't work, I could always just cut it out and get a whole new piece. But I think it's worth a try. All right, moving on. So I got my battery tray all repaired, and that's looking pretty good. I've got this trimmed to fit, and I drilled some holes, so we'll do some, we'll plug the face of the battery tray, and we'll butt weld this all around. All right, let's see if we can pull this one off. Okay, there's that lower piece done, and this one here really kicked my butt. When I had the piece in, and the bottom edge I had left too big of a gap, so I ended up trying to fill the gap in. It wasn't working. The metal on the bottom was just too thin, so I ended up having to cut another skinny slice. I didn't bore you with any of that. I cut a skinny slice, I put another sliver back in, and that's kind of done for now. Not 100%, but I'm just going to walk away from this one right now. There's more issues down here. There's more pinholes, so I'm just going to leave this alone for a minute, and I'm going to jump into this piece here. I'm going to try something like this. At least it should be easier. This one here was round, but the round part wasn't hard. It actually tapers down, and of course my piece was flat, so I really had to mess with it. But anyway, battery tray's fixed, patched. It's certainly more solid than it was, and it's all metal. And again, I'm not fully done. I gotta come back. But for now, I think this is a factory hole. I'm not sure. I'm gonna eliminate this. If I cut down here, I'll get rid of this little rot hole, and hopefully this one, and hopefully this isn't too thin. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try to do another butt weld. And this one should go a little bit better since I'm dealing with just flat metal. All right, let's cut this out and try. Okay, well, this went well. This looks good, happy with that. That was a breeze compared to that monstrosity. Okay, I'm gonna carry on. Let's try this area here. I'm not gonna bother ordering any panels. I'm just gonna cut and put a piece in. Yeah, I think that'll work. There again, there's the bottom of the battery tray, so I'll cut just above. I'll make it so it attaches, and yeah, we're kind of working around the battery tray, but at the same time we're essentially fixing it, but from the outside, so it's working. All right, chop chop. So from the inside here, the battery tray just has, it's not even really a lip. Well, it is a lip, it's just a tiny little one. So I think I'm just going to try to put something like this. And I'm really making good use of this old German steel here. You can see some of the green paint on there. So, I think I'm going to try to put this in like this. If I can spot this in, that'll add a little bit of strength to the battery tray, and it'll help to attach this little piece I'm going to put in here. This is just going to be a makeshift little patch. Kind of like my own little splash shield, which everything else here is good. I'll just throw a piece on here. I might even, I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm going to do a butt or a lap. Might even do a lap on this one. I don't know. Doesn't make much difference. Well, it does, but lap might be easier. We'll see how I feel. Let's get this little piece tacked in. Okay, here's that inner patch. It's going to be butt welded here. lap on the top, 3 holes to grab the battery tray, and the lip on my battery tray is really small, so there's going to be some gaps to fill where those holes are. But that's a pretty good fit. I had to slightly bend it to make this little angle, but that's going to work. Alright, let's blast this in. Okay, and here's this little repair inside the wheel arch. It's not bad. I blew a hole through here. I'm gonna have to come back. Fill this. There's a couple spots where I can see daylight. I'll have to come back and touch this up and re-grind it. For now, I think I've had enough. I'm gonna take a little break. I got this done. This outer corner. So, break time. I've made, but I got quite the mess going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some cleaning up. Going to take a breather. I'm going to come back either tonight, tomorrow. I'm going to try to make this here a little bit better. Make that inner splash shield a little bit better. And then I'm going to tackle this monstrosity here. And it's pretty ugly from all angles, really. I can't even see that. Ugh, don't mind me. Completely deteriorated here. And on the inside, I mean, the whole piece is, the whole thing wiggles back and forth. But I think maybe I'll try to make something that wraps around. Anyway, see what happens. All right. Okay. It's the next day, and I took a little break from that side. Right now, I'm going to jump into this Swiss cheese arrangement. I'm just going to start by cutting a square. I'll replicate this square. That shouldn't be too complicated. Then I think I'll come back with a separate piece. I'll weld to this one, make a curvature. Now, that wouldn't be so bad, but I can see that on the inside, I don't even know if you can see that. See where my hand is? There's a bunch of inner structure. There's some inner structure that I'm not sure how I'm going to replicate. I'm hoping that maybe once I take this out, I'll be able to see a little bit better, and I can make a decision. Let's chop this out and see what happens. Okay, so here's where I'm at. I got this cut out. The little bit of structure that was here only came down a little bit and kind of hid that open frame back here. So I think I'm actually going to leave that. I cut that back. I'm going to leave that frame open. That way I can squirt some rust proofing in there. I don't think there's going to be any harm in that little bit of structure missing. I've exposed quite a bit of Bondo here. So I've just been chipping away at the Bondo on this corner. So I'm going to have to also build a piece here. And I've got this traced out here somewhat. So that's sort of the idea. I traced this off the good side. This side looks really good over here. So I kind of traced that like this. And then I'm going to do a mirror image. So I'll make this in 2 pieces because it's a bit of a compound curve. I've got no fancy tools, so I'm just going to cut a little piece of steel here, and I'm going to graft this on the corner. And that way there it's easy. I can work on the bench. I can do it off the vehicle and then try to stitch this in. And I see a lot of Bondo here, so hopefully there's enough metal that we can attach, and at the same time we'll address this section here of the battery tray. Yeah, let's see if we can get this hole closed up and do a little something about this. Probably not going to really do much. Maybe a piece of metal to overlap in here, and then get some good solid metal in there, and then the rest will have to be Bondo. It won't be as thick as that was. So Okay, let's give this a try. Okay, well, I've been grinding away more at this area here. And you can see very well what I've discovered. There's a 1/4 inch of Bondo here. So again, whoever did this had an amazing skill, because it sure is flat and square. But, you know, sheet metal, it gets wide, it gets wide, it gets wide, it tapers off again. So I looked into here. I don't know if you can see that right there. There's some crumpled up metal. So this is some accident damage that they repaired. So I've got quite a bit of time into this corner already. Well, not that much. I mean, a day, or a few hours, I should say. So I don't know. Now this side over here. Nice. Good. Nice and thin. No Bondo. Feels good. Looks good. Now, should I just abort on this? I don't know. I've already got this piece cut out. I did not want a Bondo buggy. Again, there will be some Bondo because my metal skills are only... I can only bring the metal up to a certain level for my skill set. And I'm good with that. And I'm good with a bit of Bondo. But that, to me, that's a no. I can't do that. So I've come this far. I've got this little plate ready to go in. So I think since I'm here, I'm sitting here, I got the piece cut. I'm going to put this in. And then I have another one sliced out for here. I think I'm going to try to do that. And then grind more of this away. Maybe I can take down at least. If I could even reduce this by half, I think I could live with it. Maybe take this all down and then try to pound this back in. I could try to pound this back out, I mean. Pound the metal out. And then re-Bondo. I don't mind a little Bondo. As long as it's over real metal. Yeah, I think I may do that. It's all right here. It's all right here. Right here. 1/4 inch. Wait, too much. I don't want that. Although it's beautiful and flat, and once painted, you'd never know. But not really what I want with this one. So, all right. I'm going to put these pieces in. I'll come back and address that after. If for whatever reason I can't make it work, I'm just going to break down and order this and just scrap everything I've just did and replace it. But for now, I'm going to forge ahead and try to make it work. Okay, so here's that bead-in corner all stripped. And you can see that they decided just to fill in with Bondo. But anyway, this is essentially what I have to fix. So I'm going to go from the inside and try to pry this out. See if I can get anywhere. Okay, well, it's been about an hour. And I pulled this out the best I could. A little bit of a crack here. That's where the main ding was. So I split that. I pulled this back. It was all Swiss cheese here, so I put a patch here. I fixed this corner up a little bit, so at least it's not pretty right now, but there is some strength down here. And so I could even pull this back a little bit more. This is pretty, it does have quite a bit of give. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, at least now we're not going to be dealing with a 1/4 inch of Bondo. And I could probably push this in a bit more. I'm going to make a little corner that I'm going to put right here. I'm going to stitch a little corner piece in here. That's going to come down, meet up with this one. Then I'm going to grind everything. And we'll see what we're left with. Oh, yeah, I'm regretting this decision. But moving forward. So I've trimmed out some more of that bad area. Now I've got this little idea for a corner. I'm going to stitch in. I'm going to re-slice in here. I'm going to tack it in here first. Then I'm going to re-slice and do a butt weld. I'm going to try. This is 18 gauge. This is paper thin. 55-year-old metal. But we'll try that. And then maybe we will be done with this corner. Okay, well, here we have it. This corner is done. This has been dragging on for a bit. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's probably about 8 or 9 patches. Like I mentioned, if I had my time back, I would not have done it this way. But I decided to try it, and pretty much done. So let's see what we got here. We got again many patches. I don't know, but anyway, it's where that corner was completely pushed in. At least now there will not be a 1/4 of an inch of Bondo. There will be some Bondo. That's normal. I'm okay with that. So there'll be a little bit of a Bondo coming down here. And then this way here, I'm pretty kind of happy with this. I don't know if you can capture that. This line here is now pretty straight up and down. Pretty straight up and down. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's just crazy. I am not going to do this again. I tried it. Good experience, you know, with the welding and that, but not doing this again. On the inside, I found a little bad spot there, so I kind of made a makeshift patch for my battery tray. So this still all needs to be wire wheeled and seam sealed, but that'll be okay. Also, with this repair was the wheel, the splash shield inside here. So that's also all done. So I'm going to cover this with a little bit of primer, I think, and call it good. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you in the next video. I do have, I've got some new metal that came, so hopefully when I come back out to work on the bus, I'll be working on that driver side, and we'll start fixing that wall up. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.